What's up, Big League? It's Luke Boehm here, head coach of them boys. We're going to start off week one here. We're going to hop right into it. We have a lot to talk about. First of all, I want to apologize. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but got caught up with a lot of things. You know, busy man. But let's go right into it. So the first matchup we're going to talk about is me and Luke Pa, because it's the first one that pops up. So, as we saw last night, the Bears defense is for real. They were for real last year, and they will continue to be for real. So, me personally, I'm going to avoid sitting players that are playing against them at all costs because they don't seem like anybody can get past that. So Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, this is probably their worst week of the whole year. Will it continue to look like this? No, I don't think so. I think it was just because the defense was that good. And, it was Aaron's first game. He wasn't playing any preseason or nothing. So, I think he's going to be okay. But yeah, that's unfortunate for Luke Pa for week one. Nobody wants to see one of their quarterback and receiver number one not do much. Let's see. As for me, benefits. I have Drew Brees Monday night in the Dome, opening up against Houston. I think that's going to be pretty good. Let's see. I don't really like that I'm starting James White against Pitt. In the past years that he's played against Pittsburgh, James White really has barely put up any fantasy points, but I don't know. I feel like I have to start him. Everybody else, Gurley, got to start Gurley, Odell, all them guys. Am I feeling confident I'm going to beat Luke this week? Yes. I would need to probably throw up a couple goose eggs to lose, but we're going to see. May the best Luke win. Next group we're going to talk about is the Lone Ranger versus Cream of Lou, Big Mike and Matt. So, Big Mike's got Matt Ryan at Minnesota. I'm really not that excited about Matt Ryan this season, especially what I saw during the preseason. Defensive line was eating his lunch. Devontae Freeman, I do think is going to have a great year. I think he has a lot to prove, being that last year he was a dud. Marlon Mack, I was a big fan of him last year. How he's going to pan out with not having Andrew Luck, I don't know. Obviously, they're going to want to run the ball more, but also defenses will be stacking that box. Julio Jones, I don't need to elaborate on him. He's Julio Jones. And Michael Thomas, he's going to get it done in the Dome on Monday night. Probably get 2 touchdowns easy. Let's see, Hunter Henry, whatever. Robert Woods, he's a clutch flex. He'll catch one, I think. And Jags defense versus KC. I know it's Jags defense, but Patrick Mahomes, my man, just remember that. And for Reynolds, let's see, Carson Wentz, he's the man now. They got rid of Nick Foles, so they're definitely investing everything into him. I think he's going to do well against Washington. He also feels like he has something to prove, being that he was out pretty much the last 2 years. Joe Mixon at Seattle. What's a tough matchup, but I think Joe Mixon is going to be a good running back this year. Philip Lindsay, he's a monster. He's at Oakland. Both of his running backs are on the road, so that sucks. Jarvis Landry as his wide receiver 1, and Juju as his 2, which that's just on paper. We know Juju's over Landry. Landry, he's hit or miss. Who knows? I don't know how they're going to play it with having Odell now. They're going to do a lot of, back and forth. Who knows? Juju Smith-Schuster, he's going to be a monster. AB's gone. He's the man now. Zach Ertz, he's good. He can't say much about that. Will Fuller, that's probably Matthew's favorite player in the whole damn fantasy world. And he's their deep guy. And I guarantee you they're going to be throwing some bombs in the Superdome. And Chargers defense is a wonderful start this week playing against Indy with no Andrew Luck. So he'll probably get plenty of points from that. Let's see. If I had to guess who's going to win this week between the two, due to matchups, I'm going to have to go with Reynolds. I think Reynolds is going to beat Mike. So moving on to Schneef and Bearded Wonder. Okay. So last night, Tariq Cohen got Corey, and an honest 13 points out of Tariq Cohen, so that's good. His quarterback's Russell Wilson, which, I'm not really a big fan of him, but he can put up big numbers. Alvin Kamara, I don't even need to say anything about him. Keenan Allen, when he's healthy, he's a dog. Kenny Galladay, I think this is finally going to be his real big breakout year. I think that was a great pick, and I think he's going to do well. Let's see, Howard as tight end. Who cares? Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders is always a great flex to play in your lineup. Fairbairn, and he's got Joe Flacco. I know it's Flacco, but, I think he's better than the past quarterbacks. And Ravens defense at Miami. I see them doing some work. I'm not really a big fan of Miami. So let's go ahead and talk about Bearded Wonder. He's got Jared Goff, which, obviously he's got plenty of targets. He's going to be throwing the ball a lot. Dalvin Cook, I think he's going to have a good year. I think he's going to do well. Montgomery really shit the bed last night. He didn't look too hot. And I know probably a lot of people went early on him in fantasy. So I don't know. Hopefully it was just a bad week. Who knows? He might just be a turd. Allen Robinson really showed up last night with 102 yards reception and touchdown. 17 points. That's a good performance there. D.D. Westbrook, I don't like Jaguars receivers, but they have Nick Foles now, so we'll see. His tight end, Fant. Well, you know who the fuck that is. Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's going to be a beast. And obviously Frankie went heavy on running backs, but the problem is you can't start all those running backs. You can only start so many. And I know you get depth and trade value, but it's going to leave you in a pickle every week on who the hell you're going to start. If I had to guess this week with the matchups, I'm going to have to go with Frankie this week. I think Frankie's going to win against Corey. Sorry, Corey. All right, next matchup. Comeback Kid of the Week versus the Villain. This is definitely an interesting week. Both of these teams hate each other. And obviously I can see the Villain has a picture of Buffkin as his main photo, which is pretty straightforward with his message that he doesn't like this man. So we're going to start with Buffkin's team. You got Cam Newton, turd. James Conner. Just James Conner. He's good. Obviously, nobody liked where he was picked in the draft, but you never know. He could be right, and we just didn't know. Chris Carson, he's going to be a monster. Adam Thielen, he puts up big numbers. Amari Cooper, it's Dallas, wide receiver. Yeah, he did do good when he first got to Dallas, but, he's got to, let's see what he can do this year. Evan Ingram, I don't even know who this wide receiver is in his flex. A. Wilson. Anybody know who the fuck that is? I don't. All right, now Bills defense versus Jets. I don't think that's a good play. I think Le'Veon Bell is going to show the world that he's still Le'Veon Bell this week, so I'd watch out for that one. All right, so let's go with Emil's poo-ass team. Mike Trubisky. I can't believe you even thought about any bit of hype with that dude. That dude's garbage. It's not like Green Bay's defense is like incredible, He got freaking 8 points. What a loser. Le'Veon Bell, I think he's going to be great for the Jets, and I think he's going to tear the Bills up this week. Kerryon Johnson, I hate Lions running backs. I'm not a believer in that hype. Tyreek Hill's a monster. They just received. He just signed, I think, for an additional 3 years, 4 years, something like that. I don't know. I forgot what it was, but it was a big money contract. Let's see. Kirk, wide receiver for Arizona, I guess. Delaney Walker, the old man can still get it done. And Tevin Coleman. And I think Coleman might be good in San Fran, but we're going to have to see. He's going to have to show that. Browns defense versus Tennessee. I think that's a great matchup. Good start with the Browns. If I had to guess the winner this week, I'm going to have to go with Comeback Kid. I think Buffkin's going to pull it off, and he's going to take a meal down. Only getting 8 points from your quarterback was pretty damaging, so best of luck to the both of you. And the next match is Fireballers versus Creamy Beige. So we'll start off with Ryan's team. Lamar Jackson. He's a black quarterback. And he has, I don't know, I'm not really a big fan. We'll see. We'll see what he can do. Ezekiel Elliott, he's a monster. It paid off. He signed. You got him. Congratulations. Peyton Barber, he's hit or miss. T.Y. Hilton doesn't have Andrew Luck anymore, but he's still T.Y. Hilton. You put the ball in the air, he'll catch it. Mike Evans, he's a monster. Kittle will get it done. Brandon Cooks, I don't know. Brandon Cooks I think he underperforms a lot. He's got Legatron, awesome. And Vikings defense at home against Atlanta. That's a coin toss. You never know. All right, now we're going to go to Charlie's team. He's got Patty Mahomes, and not only does he have Patty Mahomes, but he has the connection with Travis Kelce, Mr. Whitebread himself. That's going to be a dominant combo right there. His running backs seem to be struggling. Mark Ingram in Baltimore. I personally hate Baltimore running backs. And he's got Frank Gore as his number 2. Yikes. I don't know, maybe you can trade up and get somebody else, but Frank Gore is not the answer. But receivers, he's got D-Hop. Obviously, he's going to do work. He's probably going to catch a couple on the Saints, I'm sure. Tyler Lockett, he's the man over there in Seattle. Josh Gordon, just hope he doesn't fuck up for, a 6th, 7th time. I don't know how many lives he has, but he's running out. Let's see, he's got Will Slutz as his kicker, so that's good. And Patriots defense versus Pitt. I don't think that's a good play, but whatever, to each his own. And let's see, for as far as winning this week, I'm going to have to go with Charlie on this one. Sorry, Ryan, but I think Charlie's going to pull out the win. And the last matchup is between Me Pussy, Me Dak, Me Shot and Unbeatables. Let's start with Jeremiah's team. It's really not a good start for his season with the early pick on Melvin Gordon, which doesn't seem to be paying off. And Antonio Brown may not even play for Oakland. And recently, before this even started, it would come to my attention that he called the owner a cracker. Besides all this, on a personal level, I think that's, they should use that as a racial slur, and I think he should be kicked out the league for it, because if that guy would have used the N-word, it would have been all over the news, so it's kind of bullshit. And I think Antonio Brown thinks he's above the game and better than everybody else and needs special treatment. So I think he's trash, and I think he has to go. He's got Baker Mayfield. Love that quarterback this year. McCaffrey, he's an animal. Aaron Jones, I think Aaron Jones is going to still do good, but last night he played against the Bears. It just, coincidentally, your first game's against the best defense in the damn league. So I think he's going to do well further down the road starting next week. Let's see. And it's confusing because Antonio Brown is still in Jeremy's lineup. I don't know if he's having false hopes or like just in fantasy denial. I don't know. We'll see. But his replacement's got to be most likely Sterling Shepard, who is the man over there in the Giants now. Marvin Jones, he can be awesome. Njoku, I'm high on him, and he's got a combo with Baker Mayfield, got the connection, that's good. Derrick Henry's a monster. He's a freaking Neanderthal, and he might have an awesome game to start off against Cleveland. But Cleveland's defense ain't no joke either, and it's at Cleveland, so we'll see. And he started the Bears defense, which was obviously a good start, 9 points. That's a good start for your defense. And we're going to go to Lindbergh with the Unbeatables. He's got Deshaun Watson, obviously a good quarterback. Let's hope he can stay healthy. Leonard Fournette, he rolled dice on that. He's the one that took the chance. Could pay off, could not. But he's got Nick Foles now. He's going to open up the running game for him. So I think he's going to bounce back good. Saquon Barkley, I don't need to say anything about that. Alshon Jeffrey, he's a limited participant along with Stephon Diggs. Will they both play? Probably so. Philly wide receivers, I can't stand any Philly players, to be honest with you. I'm just going to get that out there. I don't like any Philly players, and I don't like any Baltimore players. None. Stephon Diggs, he's a dog. He's going to get something from playing against Atlanta. Jared Cook with the Saints. Hopefully he's a touchdown monster this year for all our sake. Mike Williams with the Chargers. Never know. And Rams defense at Carolina. Yeah, I think that's a good play. They may say Cam Newton's good to go, but they always hide his injuries, and I just don't like Cam. So if I had to guess this week on who's going to win, I'm going to have to go with Lindbergh, not only because of player-wise, but because Germany is only starting with 13 points after last night's game. So, well, that's it. That's week 1 analysis. Sorry if it seems a little boring. I'm not feeling too well, but that's what I got. Good luck to everybody.